always talk about him. They say he's in excellent physical shape. He always comes in prepared to work. And people might reference last year when he started the season under suspension, so he didn't play right away. And hey, he looked good coming out of the gate. But last year he was in camp. He was practicing, he was doing football activity, there were pads on. That's something that you can't replicate even when you're working out on your own, no matter what you're doing. We heard today he's working with a footwork specialist. Those are all great things, but until you're doing football things, you're not really playing up to the level of the game, and you worry, does a guy come in, start doing that, and then run the risk of a soft tissue injury, a hamstring pull, a calf strain, and that could set you up for something bigger.
Sure, because what do we see at every single camp? It's this player, that player, it's a hamstring, and they're on the sidelines for a day or two. And obviously, as you point out correctly, the later he comes in, the more that puts at risk the beginning of the season. James Conner, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, I saw him just during the delay, and I said, you could have, I assume, stayed in the same apartment. He said, I have a nicer apartment than I had when I was at Pitt, as you should. His jersey sales, he's second to only Tom Brady. There's so many things about the story that are great, but at the moment he's dealing with a shoulder. How concerning is that?
Not very. Minor injury, but obviously all eyes on him because of Le'Veon Bell. If anything happens with him, it's James Conner who's going to step up. An AC sprain, so an injury to the point of the shoulder, but a matter of days before he returns, not something that's going to cause him a lot of missed time.
And I asked him just to kind of add another layer to that, how you feel. He said, I'm good, and just being cautious, which makes sense. It's still early, just the very beginning of August.
He had a sling on right after it happened, so immediately people get nervous, but that's normal. You take pressure off the shoulder by putting him in a sling, so doesn't mean it's a serious injury.
Given the depth, as we focus for obvious reasons on this Pittsburgh team and the skill position players that might be part of a fantasy football draft, Sammy Coates was a guy who was a great deep threat, but it was obviously feast or famine. It was maybe that one catch for 75 and a touchdown, but then a ton of drops.
Right.
Where is he in terms of injury and his hand and his finger most specifically?
Well, the hand and finger injuries were a big deal last year and may have contributed to some of the drop issues because he did struggle with that hand throughout the year. He also had a knee scope, and so right now not practicing, but that's expected to be a minor thing. When they talk about a cleanup as a relatively minor procedure, when you hear they expect a player back in a couple of weeks, it tells you that there was not a significant surgery that was done. So they're hoping to get Coates back and have him healthy for this year.
Totally unrelated note, this is Inside the Beltway. Bilal Powell was injured in the Jets camp. He's the guy I'm going to take in every league I'm in. He won you a title last year. Just had the wind knocked out of him?
That's what we're hearing. Just the wind knocked out of him, so rest easy.
Yeah, stay well, Bilal. You're my guy. Stefan, you appreciate the time. You've never been taller.
I like seeing things from up here. I have this SVP perspective now.
Well, right on. It's there's pros and cons, but enjoy the view. And I'm being told, are we going to have to say so long? All right, well, we're going to have to say so long for good. I guess there's another storm that's on its way in, but we've certainly enjoyed being back here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania once again for Friday Night Lights. It's special. There's a scene somewhat like this up in Green Bay, and this scene here in Latrobe. Those are the two old school franchises, aren't they? Everybody's going back to facilities nearby where they train. You miss this. You miss being out in the community, being in a small town, where for one night the football stadium is bigger than the town is on most days. Waving those terrible towels, hoping that the Pittsburgh adds to its already largest pile of Lombardi trophies. We appreciate the Steelers' hospitality. Back to Kevin Connors.
If anyone has a